Hello and welcome back to the channel, here for yet another league race, this time in the SaltGang Championship, and we're racing around the streets of Hanoi today in, of course, Vietnam. Same format as always, jumping straight into qualifying. I was completely dry, which is kind of a good thing around here. Driving in the wet isn't the nicest, as the track has limited grip in dry conditions. And now it's the end of my first flying lap. As I come over to the line, you can see it's a 1:35.3. which wasn't the worst, but then of course isn't the best sort of time. As you can see, currently sitting down in P3, but luckily we're ahead of the car on the mediums, because otherwise that's just a pretty sucky lap. But it's P3 at the end of everyone's first runs, apart from Trap. Don't know if he sets time, I can't remember. It's been a couple of days since I recorded this race. We're now getting ready to head back out for the second run, of course, at around the 5.5 minute mark, as we usually tend to leave the garage and go for that second run. Kind of the best time for track, like busyness, I guess, track population, because most cars will either be on an in-lap now, so won't be in my way, or they won't be out at all. They'll be waiting until the very end of the session. We're coming around the final corner now to start my final lap of the race. You can see it's just for 2 laps. As usual, coming down into turn 1. I hate this corner with an absolute passion. Worst corner on the track. By far, from my personal opinion, I despise it. And then down through whatever corners these are. I think 3 and 4, I think. Again, not the best fan of those. I kind of only like the final sector here, and except the final corner. These 2 corners, that's probably the best I've ever taken them. And then this long left-hander, I despise, I hate it. I think it's just because I don't know it. But then reports today, so I'm recording the voiceover for this today, you see it. Of course it's the Tuesday. It's been announced that this track will not be on the calendar for 2021, and it might not be added to F1 at all. Which could be a shame, so looks like it'd be quite nice to race on for the real cars. So we have to enjoy it in the sims, of course, until the end of this game cycle. Back to the lap, you can see purple sector 2, as we try and use all of the track possible here through the final sector. Of course, it is terrifying with where the walls are. You can see we managed just fine. See a car there facing the wrong way. I think that was Trap, but I actually don't know, to be honest. I just saw Mercedes and assumed it's Trap. I know him a lot more, raced him a lot of times. But like at the end there was only enough for P3. That lap was actually a second faster than my initial lap, but it still wasn't good enough at all. You can see Zen fastest once again, 1.1 seconds faster than me. Kind of glad they weren't here from the start of the championship, otherwise they would definitely won it by far. In terms of the rest of the championship, I'm currently sitting P2 behind Matty, who I believe drives the McLaren. I've been catching him pretty much all season. I've missed 4 races, I think, the first 3, and then I missed like round 6 or 7, I think. Of course, this is round 10 of 11, so 1 more race to go after this. You would have seen then we went for the soft, medium, soft strategy. As now we wait for the 5 red lights to come on, and we're racing here in Hanoi. You can see there we get a good start, at least compared to Matt. He just didn't move, don't know why. I know the internet isn't the strongest of connections in the world. See, we were forced a little bit wide there for the turn into turn 2, as there was the McLaren of Matty. On my outside for turn 1, he then backed out. As you can see here, Zen has already pulled over a second on me. See a replay of the start. See my Ferrari there, just behind the Renault at the front. Very good reactions from, I think, Bembo there to get past the AlphaTauri. You can see a very small grid as always. This race nearly didn't happen as well. The host wasn't available. But we got there in the end. You can see now onto lap 2, Trap has retired in the first sector, which brings out the virtual safety car.
To keep a positive delta here. Slow down,
you can see we have gapped the rest of the guys, and Zen has also gapped me.
Green, Maintain
pretty much
positive
how it
delta
usually
until the
goes.
green flags.
This league is definitely one of the weirdest in terms of my pace. You can see now as we're towards the end of the lap, the budget safety car finally comes in, gets out of the way. But my pace in here, Zen is much faster than me, and I seem to be quite a bit quicker than the rest of them.
We can now use DRS. DRS now available.
So it's a little bit confusing. Obviously, Formula Man, he beat me in qualifying. He is very quick, but he has internet issues quite often, which means we don't get to have a battle. If you went back to Austria, we had a battle at the start. As you saw there, the tyres not completely up to temperature, just the back end stepping out a little bit at the start of lap 3. But now we're literally jumping onto lap 8 and we're into the pit lane. Of course, we went for the 2 stop, which now looking back was a mistake. I got the strategy wrong in this race, and also I had back pains, which pretty much if you use any of the curbs here, like turn 1 and the sort of chicane that I said I hate, despite getting it right in qualifying, it basically was sending us the attitude to my 4-speed back wheel. It's not the strongest of things, bless it, but the shocks were enough to sort of make driving a little bit more painful. So I probably should have retired a lot earlier on in the race. Jumping now onto lap 10 of the race. The Formula Matt has retired in the S's in the final sector, which brings up the second virtual safety car of the race on lap 10, I believe that says at the top. So we're still in second, now 7 cars left. So yeah, going back to what I was saying, I probably should have retired from this race a lot earlier, just for my own physical health. But a virtual championship is more important to me, so I kept it going. It did severely hamper my pace, as you will see later on in the video. So we kind of just stuck it out. Got to the end, I think I went to sleep after this, as my sleeping pattern is completely messed up due to being off college for so long. Jumping onto lap 18 though, back into the pit lane, because once again, nothing happened, it's just me lapping. I'm wondering, drop it down in the comment section below. Full races like this where nothing happens, you can see the length of this video is significantly shorter than a lot of races. If you'd like to just see a couple full laps, sort of hot laps kind of during the race, like my fastest lap and just some clean laps and that. So if you'd like to see that for these boring races, just let me know. I help out massively. Jumping on now to the end of lap 20, we set the fast lap of the race. We didn't really try, I'll be honest. I think that was simply just the fresh tyres. So I was like, okay, well I clearly have a little bit of pace for now. So to lap 21 we actually push, we use the battery and the fuel and we go a little bit quicker. You can see the gap to Zen, currently 30 seconds. My pace was severely being hampered at this point. The gap to Benbow as well was I think 27 seconds. And then eventually during the race it just got smaller and smaller because I physically couldn't run at the same pace. Zen also took the fastest lap back. He pitted for soft because he could. He had like I think a 34-second gap to me. So we took the opportunity to pit for soft, set the fastest lap, which annoyed me a little bit, but we all got over it. See, another podium here. I have a 100% podium record in this league, somehow. Don't know how, that's just how it is. And now we are 6 points behind Matty in the championship with 1 race to go. We're racing at Japan next week, which is one of my best tracks, so fingers crossed we should be able to take the championship fight and win it. It'll also be my last race in the league, as I announced a couple days ago at the time of recording the audio. 1 race left for season finale, and then I'm going to be departing from here. But that'll be it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe as well, it helps me out massively. As I said, drop down any suggestions below on how you think I could improve or anything you want me to try. I will read all the comments and reply to them as well. Apart from that, we'll see you tomorrow with the next video. See ya.